this greeting today, I would like to send a special message to the priests of the Archdiocese. There are many of them who are still working away to support you through this crisis. The priests are finding it difficult because it's the crisis. Like everyone else, it's broken their routine, and it also means that they're having to say Mass on their own. For the younger priests, this would be a completely new experience. We always try to have Mass. In fact, even in the very old days, we always had to have a server, at least. But now we find ourselves just before the altar on our own. There's a wonderful saint from the Lebanon, Saint Charbel, who is a Maronite monk who lived in the 19th century. And he became, more than a monk, he became a hermit. And his whole day was built around preparation for the Eucharist, offering the Holy Sacrifice of the Mass, and giving thanks to God for that great blessing. So as we learn to say Mass on our own, I think we will be surprised by the benefits. Rather than seeing it in a negative way, we will find ourselves very much closer to the mystery. Cardinal Sarah in Rome is always asking us to get close to the mystery. He doesn't fully explain what he means because it's an experiential thing. You can't use words to explain something which is beyond us, which is that kind of space beyond our words, the silence, if you like, beyond all the words which we use. As we draw closer to God in the Eucharist, I think we will find ourselves developing a very special interior devotion to the Eucharist in a way which is of a different emphasis to the one which most of us live out through our daily priestly lives when we give to others and we respond to their devotion. We bring their gifts, their spiritual gifts, their lives to the altar, and we offer them in sacrifice. Well, of course, we can still do that, but they're not physically present for us now. And the people of God are so important as they continue to support us with their prayers. I can assure them, as they listen in to me talking to the priests, talking to you, that those wonderful offerings of sacrifice which they make in their daily lives will become very much our offerings as we gather together the many grains that make the one bread which we offer to God and which he returns to us as the body and blood of his Son. So there's so much we can learn from what is a very difficult experience. So I hope that these words will encourage you just a little. I know that the priests do a wonderful job during the year. They really are excellent. And so I also want to take this opportunity to thank them for their cooperation with everything which is being asked of them now. It's a strange time, celebrating funerals outside of church, not baptizing, and not doing many of the other things which become which are part of our priestly life. We're not able to visit schools. We're very restricted with our visits to those who are sick and are housebound. But the prayer which they offer, which is supported by the prayer of the people, is invaluable to the life of the Church at this present moment. Life at Archbishop's House continues, but in a different way. We're trying to develop a new routine for ourselves, that is to say, Father John, who's my secretary, and my two friends, my cats, Zena and Betty, who are being very supportive in their own way, as cats always are. And we are developing this new routine for ourselves, which is quite hard because usually my diary is absolutely crammed full of engagements, and now it's empty. It's empty for weeks ahead, and we don't really know how long that's going to stay that way. I have one engagement every week, which is a weekly conference call with the Cardinal and the other archbishops as we assess what's going on in our provinces, and try to give some directions to help the priests and the deacons and the religious and laity as we continue to live our lives in Christ. But I'm also catching up on reading. I'm always a great buyer of books, and I also love to be given books as presents, but I don't always get a chance to read them, so that's something that's happening a bit more than before. It's of course the time for taking time over my prayers, over my divine office, not rushing through it, but taking more time to pray it rather than say it. I love to go for walks down to the river. I'm very lucky where I live. It's a little exercise. I'm never fond of exercise, so being told by the Prime Minister I've got to go out and do some exercise is really very strange for me. I think that's one of his directives I will, well, not quite ignore, but not enter into with the enthusiasm which he would like. But you should all exercise, of course. It's good for you, they tell me. I've lived 70 years without doing it, so maybe now's the time to start, or maybe it's the time not to bother anymore. I'm also rediscovering the joys of ironing, cleaning and cooking and all those things that I used to do as a Dominican friar and happily did. So now Father John and myself are the only ones at home. My assistants, Irene and Jean, they have now to stay at home. And Marion, my personal secretary, is also working at home, but has everything she needs to keep the administration going at Archbishop's House. And so we're all doing very well here. But I would love to hear from you how you're getting on over these weeks. Ask them. So I would ask the deans perhaps, and then perhaps ask you straightforwardly, the priest, to let me know if you need something. But also you can let Father Philip Gregory know, or Father Steve Maloney. We're all waiting for you to get in touch with us, and we will do our best to get in touch with you. I would like to stress that there's no need for anyone to be in difficulty at this time. No, every priest should feel that we are here to support you. So if you're feeling lonely or need someone to talk to, we're all human, got to remember that, then please get in touch with me. So just a thought then, as I finish this little video conference, we live our priesthood in very different ways, but we do live it in hope. And our prayer at this time should be offered by all the priests, that our communities can still be beacons of that hope as we follow government guidance, and that we protect and we save lives. Whatever difficulties we find ourselves in now, I know that we'll be stronger as a body of priests, as a presbyterate, when this crisis is over. So I'd just like to remind you, just to reiterate, that all of you, priests and deacons and religious and laity, are in my daily prayers. Keep safe and healthy. Do stay in touch, and I look forward to sharing with everyone another thought sometime soon. So God bless you all, and let's pray that this crisis will soon come to an end.